after the White House made a repeated point there would be no meeting between President Trump and Vladimir Putin. The president himself told reporters he had a few conversations with Putin. And while it was not a formal sit-down, the two did cover some ground. This morning, President Trump touched down in Vietnam's capital, Hanoi, leaving behind the APEC summit in Da Nang, where he defied expectations and held more substantive conversations with Vladimir Putin than the White House had first indicated. President Trump told reporters on Air Force One he pressed about Russian interference in the 2016 election. The president said, he didn't meddle. You can only ask so many times. I really believe that when he tells me that, he means it. I think he's very insulted by it, which is not a good thing for our country. President Trump said he and Putin spent more time talking about their roles in Syria and fighting ISIS there. He added they have a very good relationship. The president's willingness to talk about his contacts with Putin counters the White House's efforts to say no formal meeting would happen. Publicly, all that was seen were glimpses around the edges of official events. Yet the Kremlin's Twitter page shows Putin had time for other leaders.
What an honor it is to be here in Vietnam.
President Trump did take part in APEC's colorful traditions. The suit and tie president donned the host country's choice of blue silk shirt. And he was center stage for what's known as the family photo. And for President Trump, some of the stagecraft was off, as he nearly walked past the Vietnamese president waiting for a handshake photo. And more on the Trump-Putin conversations. The White House says a meeting today on the sidelines lasted 5 minutes or less. The president did not talk to Vladimir Putin about North Korea, which is notable because President Trump has often said he needs not only China, but Russia's help to try to stop North Korea's Kim Jong-un and his nuclear weapons program. Kristen, Steve?
A lot of eyes on that quick pull aside. All right, Kelly O'Donnell, thank you for that.
Hello, Today fans. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking that button down there and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives.